everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to NUFC Talk TV late night show, late night discussion between me and the Mighty Wayne about what's going on with Newcastle United. Don't forget, hit the like button. Become a member if you can. Subscribe to the channel. Activate the bell for notifications. That way, when we're live, you get notified, or when we put up videos, you get notified about what's when we're live. So I want to pour myself some Peroni here because I really like this beer, by the way. Yeah, it's a pretty good beer. Definitely better than our Foster's, man. Would you rather have Peroni or a Stella? I think I still prefer Stella. I prefer Stella,
I'll stick with Foster's, thank you very much.
but Italian beer, Peroni, definitely. Or
Brewed in where?
I'm sure somewhere not in Italy. No, actually, Peronis do come from Italy. I believe. Let me see. Well, this one is not saying. Oh, Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico. Oh boy, boy, boy. So that was a fail. But business works nowadays, man. That's the way things work. But it's still Italian at heart, baby. Italian at heart. Um, all right. So, anyways, how's it going, Mighty Wayne? All good?
All good. It's always good after a win at the weekend. Always
Always
good.
good in the neighborhood, man. Um, love that top. Chris says Boki. Oh, I love it. I love this top, although it's probably my second favorite. As long as it has the brown ale, it's always going to be one of my favorites. Brown ale is always over any other, over any other shirt.
We've got to get back to it.
But how are we going to do that, man? We can't do it now, man. PIF make too much money now for brown ale to make any.
PIF should buy brown ale from
It,
whoever's got it now, Coors or in Coop, and
if
open
they
a
want,
brewery in Newcastle again. That's what
yeah,
PIF should do.
yeah. Well, you do got a point, and I would be all for it. I would be all for it, but I don't think that would be in their plans. Or at least I'm assuming it's not. But that would be fantastic to say the least. If they cared about the true meaning of Newcastle United, certainly it would be great, and it would be copas compared, as you say, compared to what they actually spend on on the daily basis. But brown ale, but the favorite, the best ever is I showed you yesterday, man. The with the Adidas on top, the brown ale, Adidas on top, and the tight neck, black tight neck right there. That's
No,
thriller.
no.
And it has to be long sleeve as well. It can't be short sleeve for me. Though you keep it to yourself. The shield on the back, it has to be long sleeve. And I'll probably even wear it with black gloves around the house. Because that's just what comes to mind. That's the type of it reminds me of Nobi with black gloves, long sleeves. That's right, baby. Cheers, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well. Like I said, hit the like button. Very important to help us out. And we got a lot of news, man. We got a lot of news. A lot of news again on a Tuesday night. Shout out to Toon Nut Kenny. Not a lot. Not a lot. So short show then. Yeah, we do got a lot actually. We do got a lot going on.
We got a
I
lot.
didn't. I didn't think we did until fans decided to complain. So I got a bone to pick with some fans and complaining about certain things. But we're going to go step by step, one step at a time. The Athletic put up a report today saying, Craig Lee says, Chris, you're wearing the best top. Well, people say that, but I think the Shield is, bar,
Oh,
none-
nah.
bar none, the best ever, man. I'm telling you, the best. I like this one, though.
That's the one. That's the baby.
And even it has a texture to it, man. It's just it's like a real a proper shield, man. Look at it, man. It's unbelievable. Anyways, expiring contracts that the Athletic put up a Q&A with some Newcastle fans. They had questions, and of course, Mr. Chris Wolf answering these questions. He's a journalist that has, he's a journalist that
He's
reports
a
on all
Geordie, though.
reports on all things Newcastle United, and he has been answering based on the information that he has. So one of the questions was: is there any positive news on those players whose contracts are up this summer? Um, Martin Dubravka agreed to remain in Newcastle until June, despite the Saudi Pro League's interest, and discussions have continued with his representatives in order to extend that. I just don't know that. I just don't know that he'll stay. I mean, what do you think? I mean, he might. If we win, what other way to to just leave and being a champion? But that creates a can of worm, by
It,
the way.
it it will depend on how much we are prepared to pay him and how much he's being offered in Saudi. If they still want a goalkeeper, that is, of course.
Yeah, but
I'm
that
I'm sure I'm sure all of that would have been ironed out before he stayed in January.
well, according to Wolf, it's still going on. They agreed to June, nothing else than that. They're going to continue to, I'm assuming, to give a proper, renewal where he gets some money, and but we're not going to pay him the same as Saudi, so that is out the window, man. And I think he doesn't expect that.
No, I agree with that. He's not stupid. He knows we'll not pay, but you know, what does he
So,
want to do? Where does he want his career going?
um,
Down the tubes to Saudi, or
but that right there, though, that opens up a can of worms for us because we don't have a performing goalkeeper right now of what Dubravka's doing. We don't. I mean, you can say Pope, all right, but you get back to the same thing. You saw what Pope did against Birmingham. He had a great he
he
had a
had a
great
great
stop.
game.
He had a great stop. Now, yeah, but he
Right,
is
I mean, foot wise, distribution is.
but that affects a
But
lot.
he never has been any good at that,
Yeah, but how you look at it real hard? Pope came in roughly 3 years ago.
and was part of the best defense in the league.
Yeah, but we don't play like that no more, nor can our players play like that anymore. So it's not working, bro. The way Eddie Howe is playing right now is just not working with Pope. And if Dubravka leaves, there's a reason why they wanted him to stay, Dubravka, man. In the beginning of the season, not a single fan wanted him to stay, other than me and you. So, but now he performed well. People see how secure he makes the defense. You
Yeah,
know,
and the argument was when he came in for Pope that the defense didn't like playing with him. And that was why he was conceding so many goals because the
that's right.
defense were jittery.
I agree
They
with that.
didn't see the bigger picture that the reason we were conceding so many goals was because J7 wasn't in midfield, so they were running through the midfield like a knife through butter. And the
I
back four was never the same back four
Yeah.
with all
And
the injuries we had.
by the way, Kenny tell us that Kelleher is refused a new contract with Liverpool. That could be an option. That could be an
Yep.
option. The Leicester goalkeeper, I'm sure he'll want to stay in the Premiership, as the mighty one would call it.
I
So
think out of the two, I would rather have what do they call him again? Hellemans or
the Leicester one,
Leicester keeper.
yeah. And but then you got Craig Lee saying there, Kelleher isn't signing a contract, be available this summer. So he's basically saying the same thing.
Yeah, well,
You
if
know,
he's on a free,
Well, I mean, yeah, but even if but he's out of contract. Yeah, if they're saying he's out of contract, that means he doesn't have a contract.
Mhm.
Um, so, but that adds another headache into our weak way of doing transfers. I mean, because we are non-existent with transfers. Newcastle United don't buy any players. That's a policy now. I think it's been implemented. We just don't realize it yet. It's been implemented. We don't sign top quality players. We don't sign. So big 3 windows in a row, man. And
I'm just checking. Actually, he's contracted till 2026,
so it's got 1 year left, says Quigley.
so he's got a year. Yeah,
You gotta go out there in Liverpool and try to pay for it, for him. But that gives us the Dubravka situation, because some people may say, why are you guys talking about Dubravka right now? I mean, it makes sense because that opens up a can of worms, in my opinion. You can say Pope can do the job, but what happens say Pope can do it? What happens after that? Because you got Rudy, I'm assuming, retiring. You got Gillespie, the same thing.
no, Gillespie's away.
And then you got Vlachodimos, who on this article right here, Mr. Wolf was asked about Vlachodimos, and he basically said that um, because he was absent in the Birmingham game, he wasn't even he wasn't even called for it, and Rudy was in that position. The excuse that Wolf says is that because Rudy knows Birmingham. Man, he hasn't been in Birmingham in 20,000 years, man. That makes no. What is he going to show? This is where the away sit. I mean, it makes no sense. So something is going on, and you can say, well, Eddie didn't want him, maybe, right?
Tony T's not a big Dubs fan there. He doesn't command the box. He doesn't order the defense, and his shot stopping is subpar at times. He's a slightly better kicker. I think that's.
I don't think I see. I don't think being by
2-1 City.
By calling him a slightly better kicker is diminishing what he actually does with his feet.
Absolutely, it is.
Because you can actually give him the ball, and he can probably, listen, man. I don't want to sound mean to Pope, man. Pope is a decent goalkeeper. He's done great.
He's a great shot stopper, Pope is.
But he is very limited on how we can move forward.
As regards the rest of his game, no better, in fact, a lot worse than Dubs.
Yeah. Kenny says, just check Gary's breaking news. Rodri not on City bench. Well, I don't know. I mean, people do post those all the time, stuff. And, sometimes we read them and, people say that. But I highly doubt that he will be on because, according to everybody, it was a season-ending injury. So, and I tell you what, he wouldn't play against us anyway, so I'm not bothered, even if he is 100% ready. Because
I've got no doubt at all, if we have got the war chest that everybody's saying we've got now for summer, a goalkeeper will be on that list.
Yeah. And
so it should be.
Boker says, shame about Pope's having jelly feet. Craig Lee, I don't like any of our keepers. But you see why it's a problem now. Because now we have to go hunt a goalkeeper when I believe now the club has an invisible policy to not buy anybody. So now we got to add that onto our to-do list. Right wing, maybe a center back, maybe another proper midfielder that can come in and do a job. Maybe Callum Wilson. What's going to be with Callum Wilson? Is he going to be given an extension at the end of the year?
Well, apparently Newcastle have it's not an option. They've got the absolute right to extend it a year if they want to. But I would only be extending it a year under certain conditions. I wouldn't mind extending it a year at all. But it's got to be on a pay-per-play basis.
Yeah, but that's hopeful, isn't it? Because he's going to have to accept that. He's going to have to accept that, Callum Wilson. And you are a Callum Wilson advocate, man.
I am, absolutely, yeah. What I'm saying is, yes, he's got to accept it, otherwise, bye-bye. Hey, Callum Wilson! Ooh! I want to know when you score that goal. One Jacob Murphy. There's only one Jacob Murphy.
That's a new song. We haven't. Go ahead. Go on. Do your thing, man. Do your thing.
Well, that's it. That's the best they could come up with on Saturday.
And that's it. You got before you do a recording session, you have to be because we're missing on a few. Who usually score? You got to do the official version of Tonali. Can you do Tonali right now? Come on.
Which one? No. Sandro, ole, ole, ole. Sandro, ole, ole, ole. Midfield maestro.
Hey!
From Milano.
Hey!
Sandro, ole, ole, ole.
There you go.
Sandro Tonali. Sandro Tonali. Eats spaghetti, drinks Moretti, he hates fucking Sunderland.
There you go. But this one you forgot though, Mighty Win. But see, Mighty Win changes his favorite players all the time, so he really, it's like I said, it's flip flop. But there's one that you haven't sung in a long time. It's one of your hits. When we started this channel, one of your hits, man.
He'll beat them on the ground. He'll
He'll beat them in the air. Oh, Fabian Share loves to have a shot to score from anywhere. Oh, Fabian Share.
That's a little bit of
I didn't know we're having a sing along tonight. I'm all up for that. I've had a couple.
You on for that? Well, what tone do you want, man? Let me give you something romantic. No, this is when he goes to Chinatown. He uses that. He uses that to the. Well, actually, he's not very romantic either, man. He gets straight to the point. Anyways, okay.
Bam, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Oh man, oh my goodness. Anyways, so we were talking about Callum Wilson. That's going to be another situation. I don't know if he wants to do that, the play by play, or that it's happened before. I've seen those contracts, but I mean, I don't know. Vlachodimos, though. Let me ask you this about Vlachodimos. Very important. Is it? Because there was a rumor out there, but just watching it at the Athletic that that there might be a possibility of him to go out on loan. Is there really a chance for when we are limited on goalkeepers? Could there really be a possibility for him to go? Because I think that he is probably the most, just by looking at him, the goalkeeper that can come in if indeed Dubravka leaves.
Well, you cross that bridge when you come to it, don't you?
Yeah, but I mean, if you get him down on loan, that's the thought. If Eddie doesn't want him,
well, nothing can happen now till June anyway. Actually, that's not strictly true with goalkeepers, because if you have a goalkeeping crisis, you are allowed to get a loan keeper in outside the window.
Yeah, what Kenny's saying, we are limited on goalkeepers. We got 6. Well, yeah, but those 3 of those are leaving for the most part. If we think Dubravka could be one, Rudy and Gillespie, and then you got Vlachodimos, Pope, and who's the other one? Who's the 6th?
Well, then you're down to kids.
Well, exactly. I mean, that means we got 20 goalkeepers, but I'm talking about the ones that are on the bid. I think there's only 5. So that's the situation. I mean, would you go out and focus on buying a goalkeeper this summer?
Nope.
And instead, would you give Vlachodimos an opportunity?
An
opportunity to be
I don't think he's had an opportunity, to be fair.
Right.
And when he has done, he's looked okay. He certainly looked okay for Greece against England, didn't he?
Yeah, well, but
the only other time he's had that I can recall of any period was Hull City away, pre-season friendly.
Mm.
And again, he looked okay.
Yeah, he hasn't really given opportunities. I will agree with you on that. I mean,
the Nottingham Forest fans reckoned he was pants, but we thought Matt Sells was pants, and look what he's doing for them.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, we shall see where we get on that, but it's something to think about for the future. Right now, though, Newcastle United do have bigger fish to fry. But before that, let's discuss. According to Geordie Boot Boys and whatever they get their information, that Paul Mitchell is close to renewing Fabian Shar Krafth. I think that's a very positive thing at this moment in time, because we can't trust that we're going to make signings. I mean, we keep saying that, yeah, we're going to do the business the next window and the next window. Right now, I don't think we can afford to get rid of these somewhat important players that can play. I mean, you can get rid of, the ones.
Well, there's going to be no hiding place before the next window, because before the next window, last year's accounts will be published. And we'll all get to see where this money's gone.
Mm.
Which is why I think they missed a trick in this window, because I've got no doubt at all that the accounts are going to show substantial profits.
Mighty win.
And if they don't, I want it. At least it'll show where the money's going, and it's got to be into somebody's pocket.
Damn, man, it's like that.
Absolutely.
We
know how much. We virtually know to the penny how much we're taking in. We know how much we're paying out in wages, for players' wages. So where's the rest of it gone? We know how much it costs to run the club, because it can't be much different to what it cost to run the club last season. So we've got all of those figures. So where's the money gone?
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. I mean, something has
the only thing that can possibly upset the apple cart is if they aren't using amortization.
Yeah, but even if you don't want to amortize anybody, man, you could still go buy. But you haven't bought anybody in 3 windows. In last window.
No, but if they haven't been using amortization last season for the sake of argument, what it means is that the value of the players on the book is a damn sight less than what we thought there would be, and so anybody that we sell, it's virtually pure profit. So, for example, if they've taken the 60 million that they paid for Isak into account already in last year's books, and they haven't spread it over 5 years, then Isak is standing on our books at 0 because he's paid for. Same way, like Miggy, when we sold Miggy, that's pure profit because he's already paid for. Whereas, certainly from the previous year's figures, the players are being player signings are being amortized, but they can write those off at any time they want against profit. As I say, we'll see when the books come out. We'll see.
Yeah, we should be able to spend. To be fair, I mean, I agree with that. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I do believe that, all jokes aside, that we should be able to buy a player, but for some reason we don't. So there's got to be a reason why we don't.
Well, exactly.
There's got to be a reason. It can't just be we can't spend. That could be one.
I think that's the red herring that's been thrown at us time and again. Like I said my personal opinion was, if that's 3-2 Real Madrid now from 2-1 down. I said if we don't sign anybody in January, it's because PIF are looking to get rid of Eddie.
Oh my, you still with that? Come on, man.
Well, I am still with that, yeah. Because they're making it harder and harder for him to qualify for Europe. And if we don't qualify for Europe, that'll be their excuse for getting rid of him. And watch how many clubs are queuing up to get him, I tell you.
Here we go. Now you're about to say he's elite. Anyways, so let's go with, it's a very important. We don't know. I mean, it's not a transfer show, but we need to figure out what's going on with the club as far as money spending is concerned. But yeah, Jordy Bootboy is saying that Paul Mitchell's close on signing Krafth and re-signing Krafth and Fabi Share. So that could be imminent, I guess, anytime. So it looks like they might stay, more than likely. So we shall see what happens there. On another news, mate, freaking Aston Villa complaining about Jason Tindall's wearing
Now you're going to tell me all about this.
I'm going to tell you all about this. So it is on the confidential, well, not confidential, I don't think, but like Luke Edwards retweeted it. By the way, we're going to get into the meltdown of the TOON shirt in a minute, and fans are having a meltdown. Now I'm going to show you some things as well. So the official report says and states that Newcastle assistant Jason Tindall was confronted by 3 members of Aston Villa during their Boxing Day match. It has been revealed after the Football Association released details of a 20-man brawl at halftime. A 20-man brawl at halftime. What the hell was going on? first of all, I don't even remember nothing really happening for this to, unless something just happened there in the in the wherever they stand. Which, by the way, I'll be fair.
Well, apparently, the one thing I did hear last week was that there was an Aston Villa director managed to get into the the player mix area that he shouldn't have been allowed in, and he was one of the ones involved.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, but to involve 20 men, I just don't see. It's
Now, so what's this official report you've seen?
so. Let me see. Both Newcastle and Aston Villa last month accepted charges of failure to ensure their players and technical area occupants did not behave in an improper or provocative way around the tunnel area at halftime of the match. Well, they did, if they admitted they did not behave in an improper or provocative way.
No, they did not prevent.
Oh yeah. They ensure their players. Okay, gotcha. Aston Villa were fined £30,000 and warned over the incident. That is what is £30,000 to Aston Villa. While Newcastle were hit with £20,000 after accepting the charges. So what's 20,000 to Newcastle?
Well, there you've got it. Villa win 3-2.
There you go. Villa analyst Victor Manas received a 2-match ground ban and a £4,000 fine after accepting the charge. But Newcastle assistant Tindall was cleared of acting in an improper manner during an incident at halftime in the match. So he was clear as day. All he did is
exactly
he wore
whiter than white.
all he did was wear a shirt, man. The meme castle. Isn't that crazy how things go? Um, Manas had reportedly shouted at the referee Anthony Taylor in a protest at the red card. Oh yeah, I forgot that John Duran had a red card. So I guess at halftime, Manas had something to say about to the referee, and I mean the shirt. I don't. It has nothing to do with Aston Villa though. I mean, why take it? Why take it
I
to?
don't know what's the business with the shirt. This is what you're going to tell us all about.
I'm not going to tell you nothing. I'm telling you that Aston Villa complaint. Okay, well, let me see. Let me see if we get to it because I mean I haven't read this whole thing because I like to do everything spontaneous. Aston Villa analyst and Tindall were later sent off by Taylor after the fourth official reported the former had caused in a confrontation by shouting aggressively towards Mr. Tindall, which subsequently caused an aggressive verbal altercation. Well, if you yell at Tindall, trust me, he's not gonna turn the other cheek and go the other way. So this reportedly sparked a further altercation involving 20 players and staff. Um, the fourth official said, his report said, I witnessed Mr. Victor Manas, analyst for Aston Villa, shout aggressively and act confrontationally in the direction of Tindall, Newcastle's assistant manager. Tindall was positioned at the top of the tunnel, heading up the stairs, and reacted, confrontationally as well towards Manas. Then at the top of the stairs, Mr. Tindall came face to face with Unai Emery, Aston Villa's head coach, as a result of this verbal confrontation. And from that point, the mass confrontation occurred at the top of the stairs and into the area outside the changing rooms. As I got to the top of the stairs, there was approximately 20 men involved. I witnessed Tindall being restrained back by some Newcastle colleagues, clearly acting in an aggressive and confrontational manner. In their evidence, Aston Villa complained that Tindall, in quote, on 3 or 4 occasions was waving his finger and shushing our head coach Unai Emery in a very disrespectful and antagonizing manner. The club also alleged a member of Newcastle staff pushed their director of football operations, Damien Vidagani, in the back, causing him to lose balance and fall over. What the hell is going on, man? We're pushing directors over here, making them fall and stuff. Come on, man. Aston Villa also included a further complaint that Tindall, on the 85th minute, reappeared within the tunnel wearing a Wham jumper, joking around with the other members of Newcastle United staff He then re-entered the pitch to celebrate their victory and was again involved in a tense exchange of words with our assistant head coach. So, I mean, the shirt has nothing to do with Aston Villa. I mean, I guess they saw that it might be like a meme or like a joke, and they just added it onto the report, I guess. But I have no clue. Man, this is like parody type stuff, man.
Jason will do for me.
Oh man, this is just parody. So I guess no blood lost. 20,000 for you, 30,000 for me. We'll call it a truce, I guess. I don't know. Maybe next time when we go to Villa Park though, gotta watch out. Gotta watch out because things might get a little. What's going? Why do we always have to pick a fight, man? Or people pick a fight with us?
Exactly.
Which one is it? So all right, here we go.
There you go.
Let me see.
I've just sent it.
Let us turn into. Let me see. All right. You sent me something, but let's talk about the TOON shirt. Let's talk about because this is I wanna there's a meltdown by Newcastle fans. Some with that get some of these cold people that have information. I don't know how true that is, but getting on complaining about the new TOON top, and I'm gonna share it because it's basically the same TOON top. It's got the final stuff on it. The fine, not like what would you be like Newcastle versus Liverpool type thing, Carabao Cup final, etc.
Carabao Cup final 2020.
So, which by the way,
with a date.
By the way, players will play with this shirt. That's like Newcastle didn't have to come up with this. The teams in the final, it's just like anything, man. They had the FA Cup badge, you got the Carabao Cup badge, you got the Champions League badge. When we played against PSG, it said Newcastle versus PSG. So this is not really anything, that we're some genius that came out with it.
Well, no, what's new is that they're putting it on sale.
Well, what's new is that exactly, but it's seen, it's happened before, and this is the shirt, right? Listen, it looks just like the home shirt. It just got the Carabao Cup, obviously the emblem and the lettering there saying Wembley Stadium, etc. So in a sense, if you win, you bought a really good shirt, and if you don't, then you're a nagger. You know what I mean? Because imagine.
We are nagger.
My button disappeared there. So it's kind of, but it's a choice. It's a personal choice. Nobody's forcing. Newcastle's not saying you're not a proper TOON fan if you don't buy this shirt. Like but some fans have taken on social media to have a meltdown, to cry and moan. By the way, we as fans, we find everything to cry and moan, man. Like we cry and moan over everything. Complaining that the club makes us look small time. Mouth of the Time said on Twitter, it makes us look small time. That Newcastle makes us look like a small club. Some other fans said, why?
No idea.
We did it in 99-98 in the FA Cup. We did it. Didn't do it in 23. It's really not. It's nothing. And if the club says I want to,
they don't want it. Don't go and buy it. What's the problem?
Exactly. So the club says I'm selling this pencil for £20,000. There you go. Nobody's gonna buy it, but who cares, man? How is it?
Exactly.
Who cares? So I got into one of the people that I know in there. We had a conversation. I will share that, not exposing anything by any means. It's on Twitter. If you put it on Twitter, it's public. So I posted. Actually, here's my post. I saw the post from the club, and I said, "Brilliant marketing strategy or something like that. Go on Newcastle, make that money, because it makes sense from the business standpoint." And
Exactly.
MMB, which I think his name is Mark Briers, maybe or something like that. He said smart move would be Silverstone on a multi-million-pound salary, actually doing his job and bringing in revenue fleecing the fans is not a smart move at all. And I said the two can be true at the same time, by the way.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with nobody's forcing fans into buying the new shirts. Fans choose to, and more than likely will. But how is that fleecing fans into like it's like you putting a gun into a fan's head and like buy it or else your season ticket will be revoked. I don't get it. What do you think about this fleecing?
I think the same about that shirt as I think about every other shirt. Listen, it's a luxury item, and it's up to people to decide for themselves, like adults, whether they want to pay what's being asked for a certain product or whether they don't. And, you know, life's full of decisions that you have to make about how you spend your money.
Yeah,
Will I be buying it? Will I hell be buying it? But if somebody wants to go out and buy it, good luck to them.
exactly. I mean, I'm debating it. I'm a big collector. As Mighty Wind knows, I'm a big collector, so I actually would do that. But but everybody's got their own brain, man. I know I wouldn't do it if my kids were hungry. So what's the, it's at the end of the day, it's up to the person's decision to do it or not. Um, and so the conversation continued. I said the two can't be true at the same time. I don't know Silverstone. I'm sure he's doing his job. Maybe he does. Maybe we do need to get on here and question because we haven't had anything in a minute. But he says the fact is the club know they will. Fans will buy it. If you know your history about Newcastle fans, that right there, because I'm used to it, Mighty Win. That a little dig, but you can't prove that it's a dig, but it's a little bit of a dig if you know your history about Newcastle. Keegan once said they'd pay to see an elephant on the pitch as long as it wore black and white shirt. It's a piss take, he says. Um, Again, I still don't. Yeah, the people will go to the pitch. Makes still doesn't make the argument valid, in my opinion. Um,
It's the old one. You could put a washing line on St James's on the pitch with 11 shirts on it, and you'd still get a full stadium.
yeah, but people choose to do that. It's not they're not being
Yeah,
forced.
exactly.
That's just
They've
your
already got a gun to their head.
exactly. I said, well, I guess we agree to disagree. I know Newcastle fans are loyal, but I also know that it's up to each individual to know what's best for their pockets. If they can't buy it, then they won't. Then they won't. And if they do, knowing it will hurt it will hurt them financially, then it's only their fault, not the club. And he says that's where you don't know Newcastle fans. They'll go broke to buy it. Believe me. The other club and the club knows this. Not to mention the parents bowing to pressure from kids who want it to keep up with their friend.
Well, that just makes them bad parents.
It makes no sense, right?
You
So
know, when we were bands, I wanted a bike, but I couldn't have one because
I
we couldn't afford a one.
exactly. I only got one tune top for my whole entire life since I was young. It has the Blue Star, cheap, remade from some from a lady walking around like they in Peru. They had stands, and it just has sports shirts. Happened to be a Newcastle shirt there at the time. Even that's 2005. This shirt is probably since the 80s, so you know how long that is. It's been dirty and all that. That's the tune top I got until I got my own job. So it's not life or death. Now, go because I'm just scrolling through X, man, minding my business, and and then I see Mister Mouth of the Tyne right here, who is by the way, we follow each other unless he just stopped following me because I refuted him. And he, we'll get into that. Mr. Mouth of the Tyne, which I have nothing against, by the way. I don't. I'm friends with everybody, man. Everybody's my friend. I
Yeah,
love everybody.
we are a channel of opinions.
Yeah, that's it. But the fact is, when somebody talks to me about Newcastle, it's always about the jab, the elbow, about how do you know, how would you know, instead of actually refuting what we're talking about. He reposts Newcastle United's post about the shirt. He says, I've thought a bit more about this, and it absolutely stinks of quick money grabbing opportunity. It's unnecessary and makes us look small time. plus factoring how many special edition shirts we've already shelled out this season. It's one shirt too many, in my opinion, which is his opinion. But then I get on there. Let me see, and I retweet up. You see above. By the way, follow me at CTA Magpie if you want to stay in. If you want to chat with me. Says we did it in I said we did it in '98, in '99. What's the issue? If people don't want it, then they won't buy it. Well, here is his response to me. Mouth of the Time says, firstly, I'm presuming you've read that fact on here today, rather than actually remember it firsthand or bought one yourself. I don't know what that has to do with the discussion. Secondly, we lost both finals, and it was small time then too. And losing finals is what? What does it have to do with the subject at hand?
No, but I think what he's saying, that particular sentence is, we lost both finals. That's irrelevant.
Exactly.
But he's saying it was small time to do it then as well.
Yeah. But we lost. He in capital letters. He lost as if that really matters to the conversation.
No, it doesn't.
He says, I don't think. Well, we did it 27 years ago. Is a good argument for anything, to be honest. And he's given his reasons. They're valid points. So I'm assuming he thinks he is Alan Shearer. Maybe that he not even Alan Shearer does it, to be fair to fans. So he answered you. So now you go away, little peon. I answered to him and says, firstly, I'm kind of copying his format of typing here. Firstly, I'm struggling to understand why knowing that fact today or 20 years ago makes a difference in the discussion. Secondly, what does losing both finals have to do with it in the first place? You think it's bad luck or something? I ask him, because maybe that's his reason. Maybe he says it's bad luck. We shouldn't do it. Kind of like you and I going to the final, or you say that, but you flip flop. And then I copy and paste it basically because he says I don't think saying that 20 years ago makes it fair, or whatever. Well, I said I don't think copying what he responded to me is a good response either. You said it makes us look small time. I ask him how. This is a business and it has to make money. And it is a great strategy to make money. It may not work, but why is that a bad thing? That's my question. Why is that ripping fans off? Why is that playing with fans' opinions? He responds to me here while we were live. He says, mate, go away. Oh, I have to go away. He doesn't want to respond. If you can't see how small time this is, then that's on you, not me. Releasing a shirt before we've won a trophy to celebrate getting to a final after we lost every final we've ever been since '69 is absolutely mental. How ignorant do you have to be to say it's acceptable as a club needs to make money? So I'm ignorant because I say the club needs to make money. All right. The amount of different shirts the fan have been expected to buy this season, and now this. First of all,
who's
they don't
expecting fans to buy?
Then nobody expects fans to buy nothing. This is a business. You know what McDonald's does? They sell out Big Macs because they think people might like a Big Mac. Plain and simple. They're not corroding fans into come over here. None of that. So I still don't understand. But he says here at the end, tell you what, you buy one, pay for it shipped to America for about $50 on top of the price, and we can come back to this conversation if we lose the final to see what you're going to do with yours. Yeah, but so that right there, by the way, I don't pay he's saying £50 on top. It's going to be about the same, the dollars and whatever. That's irrelevant. But what he actually posted early on, and he said, it's a 50-50 shirt. And I actually comment on that, saying I agree. Because if you lose, you're an idiot. And if you won, you got an items collector. But that is there's still somebody's choice. We're not being ripped off.
I think the shirts will be on sale after the final.
Well, it might be. Also, that might be another strategy right there. So, I don't understand. It'll be my decision to buy or not, which I'm contemplating, to be honest. But, it's to each their own. So I'm ignorant. He told me to go away because he is Alan Shearer. And I just got to go away because he's a TOON legend, Mouth of the Time. But, what I have an issue with people resorting to personal individual attacks, diminishing the other just because they can't have a simple conversation with somebody. So the meltdown, and by the way, he's not the only one. He's not the only fan. The meltdown from fans about this particular topic. It's it's weird, man. Maybe because I'm American and we just do what we want here. I don't know in Newcastle if you guys get forced to buy shirts, but in America we choose to, man. So it's kind of weird, isn't it, Mighty
And we
Man?
do here too.
You do?
You choose to or you choose not to. Dead simple.
Yeah. Beer Viking, you wild. I'm just saying, man. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, and there's other people like real alcoholics says commented on that says if you want to grow the club globally, you release stuff like this. Maybe the Tyneside won't purchase, but guarantee foreigners will. Nobody will know if we won or lost in Birmingham, Alabama. But anyways, um, I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant for the club. And by the way, what you said about the club explaining what they're doing with the money is going to be definitely something to pay attention to. Um,
There's Gary in the chat there. Costs the club next to nothing to produce. The shirts are exactly the same apart from a couple of badges and embroidery. I'm sure that lots of people haven't even got this season's yet.
I don't know if they're all the same. To be fair, to be honest, yeah, I think this shirt I got on is actually I compared it to yours, the original, and it's pretty damn close. It's pretty
Yeah.
um,
The material's slightly different.
original. So I think I do get your point anyway. It was one of the. It, I'm not sensitive, man. I'm just saying, why are fans acting as if the club is ripping us off? Somebody said, we're becoming a Big Six club that rips their fans off. What?
Whoa, go to Arsenal.
Rips their fans off? I try to go to Arsenal's hospitality ticket. I actually just looking around on the first leg of the semifinals. I looked up what would it be to go there. Obviously, you got to be season ticket, whatever. I can't go away with Newcastle fans, so I said, let me just look up hospitality tickets. They're over a grand, over a grand. They get up to like thousands and thousands. Newcastle, man, they ain't doing nothing. Newcastle's still one of the cheapest clubs to support. To be fair, uh, so that's that. But I'm sure I'm sure um, people will get accustomed to this. But would you be buying this shirt, man? Hell
I'll not
no.
be buying it, will I? Hell.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think it would be.
I'd rather have 200 pints.
Where?
I don't know. Beer's more than 50 pence a pint now, isn't it?
Well, in London, how much is it going to cost in London? Ooh.
About £6 a pint in London.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got another one here because Wor Flags. There's another meltdown about this as well. By the way, fans melting down about this. Wor Flags coming out not today. I think it was a few days ago, maybe yesterday, and they posted something on here. So let's take a look at that one. It says Wor Flags, sing your hearts out for the lads. Statement from NUFC supporter group regarding Wembley. And it has that let me read it for you. Sunday, 16th March will be the final. Was it Sunday? I thought it was Saturday for some reason.
No,
With the release of the cup final ticketing allocation, supporter groups have been discussing their frustrations amongst many about the atmosphere in our end the last time out at Wembley in March. In March, we want to ensure that we create an electric atmosphere in the stands. We're also aware of frustrations where people wanted to stand in areas where people wanted to sit, which were mainly located in the side sections. Whilst we can't tell you what to do or book, we hope those willing to stand create an atmosphere throughout the entire game. Aim for blocks 127 and 140 when purchasing. We are here to witness an atmosphere. We need to create one. Get behind the lads, how with the lads, NUFC, blah, blah, blah. So,
So are they insinuating there that the atmosphere at Wembley last time was poor?
well, that's what it seems like. And I will have to disagree.
Well, me too.
But you went to the final, so I guess you have more of a say. I watched that game with my own eyes and listened with my own ears as I was sitting down with my own ass, and the atmosphere was miles ahead of Man United.
It was
Miles
electric.
ahead of Man United. I mean, you look at half a stadium is one, half of the others Man U. I mean, Newcastle fans were livid. You know what I mean? So I don't remember this, but somebody was how long have you been following Newcastle probably last year? But they always have that against me, right? Well, not it's not true, but they say that anyway. But with you, you're old as a fart. So what do you think about the me and you have never talked about this.
Well, I'm not sure whether that's the end we were in last time, because I'm not sure that it is.
I think it is now.
That's the end well, if that's if the blue section is where we were last time, I was to the extreme bottom right of it, because I was sitting level with the D of our penalty. Well, I'm saying our penalty area, the penalty area where they scored. So the Blues, if you like, came further around than that.
But the atmosphere, how was the atmosphere though?
It was fantastic. We never stopped.
Exactly. So now you have a meltdown from fans saying, "I can't believe they even have to tell us this." That's what's happened to the club. Now we're a Big Six club that doesn't support their teams. Now we're sitting down. Why would anybody want to sit down? Look, just naturally being a final, I don't. I just don't. I just don't see people sitting down, unless. I mean, we get to the exaggeration thing of it. I mean,
I like to sit down.
well, I know you do, and that's perfectly fine. But they're telling you, not War. I'm not getting on Wor Flags, by the way. I'm talking about the fans. Wor Flags is just basically, sent out a polite message because they obviously want to create the atmosphere. But fans all over the place are saying the twats that want to sit down move away. So they're telling you not to sit down where the sections are, or else they're going. I don't know what they're going to do to you.
Well, again, I don't have a problem with that. Sitting down doesn't stop you singing and shouting.
All right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Or waving your arms or your scarf or whatever you've got to wear.
Beer Bag Mighty Win was under the E of Wembley. But it's I don't know, man.
But that's the way that read to me. It was as though
that's what they're saying.
The last time we were there was poor, and I completely disagree with that.
Yeah,
I thought the atmosphere was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, to be honest, it died a death for probably, I don't know, the last 5 minutes. And then when the final whistle went, it was up again. We were louder than the Man United supporters.
see, there's a Gary Roll.
Won it.
Gary Roll or Rowell is saying, "Good idea that as last time it was shite. Set beside old grannies and old codgers. They were sitting next to you, man, telling me to sit down. They made no noise, and all I could hear was Man United as we were next block over from them. So they were literally, I guess,
Well, he must have been in the posh seats.
So you're not going to get the atmosphere there, man. I mean,
because the two side sections, random access. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Random. Thank you, appreciate it, mate. That has gone to AEAE, gifted membership to them. So there you go, matey. Thank you.
AEAU.
Another original Leeses Ender. Good shout. The atmosphere in our end was shite last time. So you got a lot of fans complaining, and and going at the fact that they have to tell us this means that we're lost as a club. We've lost our identity, Mighty Win.
Well, all I can say is they weren't where I was sat.
Yeah, it makes no sense, man. I feel like today Newcastle fans just wanted to complain. Okay, there's Murph. The guy Murph, I think is a Murphy fan account, says here, it's depressing that the lads here. Let's go. Let's share it right there, Murph. And I'm not trying to show their picture, by the way. They just can't do it. I don't know why it doesn't let me scroll up. But it's Murph, and I think it is a Murphy fan account. It's depressing that the lads at Wor Flags even have to ask for this. If you're a season ticket holder going to Wembley and you don't want to contribute to atmosphere or want to ask people to sit down, you should be ineligible and have your season ticket revoked. Back the lads, man. Ooh, that's a shots fired at you, man.
The fair at me. I would never tell anybody to sit down.
I can't be bothered with all this YouTube politics, to be honest.
There's shots fired, man. Shots fired, old man.
Get the proper shots fired. Get the 10 fairways to ballot.
Man. But look, what do you have to say about that? What do you have to say for yourself, man?
I've got nothing to say for myself. I've got no doubts about my vocal support for the lads ever.
But they're telling you, if you're a season ticket holder and you don't want to stand up the whole game, you gotta get your.
I don't want to stand up the whole game, no.
He's telling you,
But I'm not telling anybody in front of us to sit down either.
But he's telling you, you need to get your season ticket revoked.
Well, he's talking shit, isn't he? No new there on Twitter.
It's just who we are, mate. It's just who we are.
Mighty win. This, you see what we're into, man.
Well, you will go looking around on Twitter.
Oh, I mean, listen, I was scrolling through, man, and I found that. But so they look at it as a disgrace that they have to tell us this.
But I don't think they have to tell us.
Tony T says more gatekeeping, disgusting. Says Tony T. So yeah, thank you, Random Access. By the way, I don't know if I said that, but thank you. Katie W says Kelly being slated in Italy. Well, I did read that.
Oh, I got a game. I missed that. Sorry.
I think two yeah, man, two back-to-back not such good games, unfortunately. So it's one of the things. But
yeah.
All right, so let's move on from fans having meltdowns on X, please, and talk about something more on a funny note. That the mag posted this. I don't know who wrote it, to be fair, but the 10 fairest ways to allocate 25 Carabao Cup
was Jack, I think.
Final seasons, final tickets to Newcastle fans. So they say we should do this to verify you get your ticket. So, Mighty, when you got you failed every quiz. So I don't know how you're gonna go about this. They have the 10 fairest ways to do this. Experience, number one. So, if people Beard says if people don't want to, don't buy it and shut up. People complain for the sake of it. I agree with you, man. All right. So experience on the basis that they need to give priority is generally least likely to be around for future cup finals. So Mighty Win, you got that one checked, baby. You're good. We got that. You're good at that. All right. So the oldest 30,000.
Oh yeah, I'm all for that one.
The oldest 30,000. I'm assuming for this article's purpose, that is how many Newcastle fans will get through. People who can prove they are a Newcastle fan get a ticket. Now, how do you go about proving you're a Newcastle fan, though? That's the thing. I mean, you can go back on Facebook, but some people don't post. I don't post sports stuff on Facebook. I don't post anything on Facebook. So how do you go about that? I mean, you can have personal pictures in recognition of having endured nothing other as adults than the Mike Ashley era before these past few years. Only those who were aged under 18 in May 2007 will be eligible to apply for the 30,000 tickets. So anybody over 2007 is completely.
We are knackered.
There you go. You are knackered if you are
So
younger.
one says the 30,000 oldest, and the other one says the 30,000 youngest.
Yeah. All right. So that would be the first one. Would be the old twats. Mighty win is good. And then you got, well, I don't know how they're doing this. If we got to combine everything or what? You're saying the first phase of buying tickets will go to experience a Newcastle fans. So the second round will go to the 50 words. What does 50 words mean? The club give an email address to every Newcastle fan. And every Newcastle fan has 50 words to explain why they deserve a ticket more than any other Newcastle supporter. Yassil Al-Rumayyan then reads them all and gives the 30,000 tickets to the 30,000 best fans. So that's the second way of doing it. I think that's going to be a little bit hard because Al-Rumayyan is busy playing golf with Trump. And so, he's not going to be too bothered about this. But so the third option is price. Price. The club allows all Newcastle fans to put financial bids in for Carabao Cup final tickets. If, say, there were 30,000 tickets, the highest 30,000 bids get the tickets, with the surplus cash over the face value of tickets going to help buy more players and deal with PSR. Now that's
That's your commercial. There's your
it.
capitalist
Yeah, exactly.
answer right there. And
There you
by
go.
the way, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
You wouldn't have a problem with it. Get out of here.
I wouldn't have a problem with that, providing that all of the money above face value went to buying tickets. So let's assume you sold 30,000
for £1,000.
Let's just do the sums. No, let's not go stupid. Say 250 quid would be the cheapest bid, but some would want to be certain they got them, so they would bid thousands. But if you averaged 250 quid for a face value of 50, that's 30,000, 6 million quid. So
That's a lot.
6 million quid. It's not going to buy a player's left leg, is it?
No. All right. So the next one is local. Tickets are allocated to the 30,000 people who currently live closest to St. James's Park, ensuring Newcastle have the best possible local following at the final. That is got us all knackered.
I go along with that because I'm pretty sure I fit that category.
Yeah, that could work as well for you, but not for everybody else. So,
Yeah.
Going green, 30,000.
Oh no! None of this woke nonsense.
No, let's not get political. So,
Woke green.
So no, let's not do that political stuff then.
Drill, baby, drill.
Hunger Games. At halftime,
No, you're missing the going green bit.
Oh, going green. Well, you told me not to read it. 30,000 tickets are allocated to those Newcastle fans who live nearest to Wembley.
Nearest to Wembley.
Why would that be going green, though?
Because you're reducing the carbon footprint on travel.
Thus reducing as much possible. And okay, now I read that.
So D-Man and Tiger would be all for that.
All the London mags will be happy about that one. Hunger Games at halftime a week on Sunday during the Forest game at St. James's Park. The 30,000 tickets are placed in the center circle. On the referee's whistle, fans allowed to swarm onto the pitch, and if able to get back on their seat with a ticket, they are going to the final. Wor Flags are allowed to be used as Hunger Games style weapons to dispossess a fellow. There you go.
Carnage.
Next one. If you know your history. Now, this definitely, you don't want this at all. You don't want this. At halftime a week on Sunday, during the Forest match, Ant and
Deck
come out onto the pitch. Every seat has been fitted with a means of keying in your answer. Questions will then be asked about the history of Newcastle United, getting progressively tougher until only 30,000 remain who haven't gotten an answer wrong. So you will fail miserably.
No, I'd be all right there.
Ability to do keepy ups. Now I'm good at this actually. I'm good at this. After that week on Sunday match against Forest, fans allow onto the pitch 500 at a time. Each fan allocated a football. Allocated 30,000 football. No, not 30,000. Like 52,000 footballs.
500.
Um,
500 at a time
oh
doing
yeah,
keep
never
you
mind.
up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And if can't keep it up in the air for 20 keep you up touches without the ball touching the grass, you get a ticket. That 20, that is, I can do that. I can do that definitely. You nagger. You only have to go.
You only
You
have one
goal.
go.
But if not, 30,000 manage to do so, it then becomes sudden death to get the remaining tickets. Everybody giving a second, third, fourth try in the same order until all tickets allocated. One more. They got one more. Be loud, be proud. With the team needing maximum support at Wembley, then surely the 30,000 who can give out the best vocal support should be getting the tickets. So a week on Sunday, when Newcastle fans enter St. James's Park for the Forest match, a soundproof booth just inside each turnstile. Members, season ticket holders who couldn't get to hit this Forest match will be tested via Zoom call. The 30,000 measured at the loudest get the tickets. Man, that was a pain to read, all of that, man. But
I was howling when I read that.
the
Absolutely howling.
the money one is good, man. You know,
Not the matter the money one.
like the bids and stuff.
But I like the Hunger Games as well. Just mayhem in the middle. Be like the Battle of Ibrox or the Battle of St. James's with the Rangers fans or the Forest fans.
Yeah. All right. Let's go with the next one, shall we? Next piece of news that we got. What happened with Paul Scholes, his opinion. Oh, yeah. Paul Scholes.
He scores goals.
Paul Scholes gave us a little bit of an elbow, of a shot right to the rib cage, and said that he insists he's got an opinion. He sparked debate in the overlap with former Liverpool defender Jamie Carragher pressing him on whether he truly believes Isak is better than Arsenal, because Scholes says that he's better than Arsenal. He insisted that he shouldn't go there. He insisted that he agrees he takes Arsenal to another level. He would be brilliant and he could possibly get you over the line, but he thinks that he is bigger. He's got something bigger for him in line, not Arsenal per se. He said Newcastle are good. Let me see here real quick. I don't mean, everyone loves him, but I don't see a possibility of him going to Arsenal. The Manchester United legend said he needs to go to a bigger and better club. We're talking about Real Madrid here. Liverpool need a center forward. I think Arsenal would be an option, but I think they would be down the list of options. He says, I don't mean that in a bad way, but he's at Newcastle. A really good team, a brilliant team, but they're not going to win league titles. That's the next stage of his career. I think it would be a risk to go to Arsenal and do the same thing. Liverpool have got much better chance. Man City, Real Madrid, the same. I think his sights should be higher than Arsenal. He is the player that Man United would be looking at, but in the position we're in now, it's not going to happen. So, Mr. Red-Headed Scholes giving us a shot to the sternum, saying, yeah, good club, Newcastle, but they're not going to win anything.
Let's revisit that in 10 years' time, should we?
Well, I mean, I've said this before. I don't think any club, including Man United, including now Arsenal, Chelsea, the same. I don't think they have as exciting as much of an exciting project that we do, because we are just one step away from breaking this damn thing loose out here, and that's just letting us spend money. We're juggling stuff. If they let us spend money, it is over for everybody out here. So I think that any player that looks at at their at a shot of being have been in a good opportunity, look, we got Tonali. Tonali came from AC Milan. He didn't come from a scrub club. Newcastle United have international players that play for proper international teams. So you know, I can't go out and say that we're going to win a league title tomorrow, the next year, but I think we are closer than people think. And obviously, these
We're
twats
the
here.
only team who can still do the treble.
There we go. I think these pundits out there, obviously, they only care about their prospective teams and what their agenda is. You know, but everybody that looks at it from a bigger point of view, from looks at it objectively, can understand that Newcastle United are in a level, especially performing in a level that nobody would have expected in the short amount of time, getting places sooner rather than later. You know, 2 finals already in Carabao Cups. When's the last time Chelsea was in the Carabao Cup final? When's the last time Arsenal were in the Carabao Cup final? When's the last time Tottenham were in a final like that, in the cup final? You know, we've been to two basically back to back, one season in between. You know, you could say Man City are the ones that have been winning, but Man City it's been, if you look at it from that perspective, it's been a farmers league this whole time. Man City's been winning everything. You know, so I think we're closer than people think. And once we win, we'll shut these twats' mouths up, of course. But there you go. All right. So you got that mighty win, or you
Yeah,
didn't?
yeah. I've just finally found Lloyd Kelly's stats for his 2 games. He hasn't had bad games.
But it ain't got
But
nothing to do with stats, man. People don't like them.
want the stats?
People don't like them. So let's go to Newcastle extra news before we finish off, ladies and gentlemen. I got Brian Quinn. It says the journey we are on is priceless. I agree with that.
Correct, Brian. Love you, mate.
Yeah,
That's it. Enjoy the ride.
yeah. All right. So 7 years ago, mighty win, one of the greatest goalkeeper debuts performance in football history, or so says Thomas Hammond, Newcastle fan, I'm assuming. And I mean, you know, he did stop a lot, to be fair.
7 years ago, made his debut.
Yeah, and he stopped plays, man. He certainly did. Come on, man.
I can't think of what, Edison.
I can't be bothered with all this YouTube politics, to be honest.
Love it.
Same goalkeeper, yeah?
Yeah, that's the only player on the pitch that can stop anything, man.
Love it. I've kept really quiet.
Come on, man.
It's just who we are, mate.
Allison or Edison, take your pick.
Eddie, what are you talking about? TOON fan, man. Oh my God, this guy. All right, 7 years ago, Mr. Martin Dubravka made his debut for the TOON.
Oh, you didn't say for the TOON. You said one of the greatest of all time. Well, I'm a big Dubravka fan, but I would certainly not say one of the greatest of all time.
He stopped. Well, now Thomas is saying that, but I'm a kind of, on that. He stopped a lot against Manchester United. Kind of ironic how that went down, because he did join them, and then we had a little bit of an epiphany.
A little bit of a to-do.
With Dubravka, but he did stop a lot, Martin. 7 years ago.
Kept us in player of the season 3 years ago. Kept us in the league almost single-handed 1 year.
Yeah, Mr. Martin Dubravka, pretty.
Him and Mickey and ASM and Wilson were the only 3 half decent players we had at the time. You know, J7 and Jay were there, but they weren't the players they are now. Because Bruce didn't know what to do with them, but that's by the by.
No, Bruce.
Ancient history, my friend, ancient history.
Steve,
we've moved on, and we are now heading towards the promised land.
Headed to the final. By the way, Mr. Dan Byrne, Magpie 24/7. Thank you for sharing this, man. You had a TOON account. How are you gonna put Dan Burns with an S? Come on, man. It must have been a typo.
What's the typo?
It must have been a typo. I'm gonna give you a pass, man. Dan Byrne, new wheels. He looks so smart. Look at you. Want to see your man's new wheels, man? That looks
let's have a.
That looks like a proper ride. That one, man. Look at that. Yeah, what is that, Land Rover? Didn't you guys make Land Rovers?
Yeah, we still do.
Well, I know that, but I mean, I'm asking like that's the England. It's an England brand. It's an English
Yeah,
brand.
yeah, well, it is. Yeah, a lot of them are made in Germany now because BMW bought them, both Jaguar and Land Rover.
Because, like, if you know, like, one thing you know how I found out, because of the Queen, like, the Queen and everybody's it's just Land Rovers, Land
Yeah,
Rovers.
yeah, Range Rovers. They all drive
And I'm
them.
like, what the hell? They must be English. And I looked it up, and it was English. And I thought, man, I'm so
Yeah.
smart. So there you go. Dan Byrne got a new ride.
That's a proper car. When you've been in a Range Rover, you've been in a proper car.
I'm sure have. By the way,
I don't know that is a Range Rover though.
it is though, man. It is. Stop playing with me, Wayne. Seriously, man. Look, Range Rover right there. You probably can't see it. Land Rover.
Yeah, well, same difference.
Same thing. And it's fitting enough that we play your famous hit for Dan Byrne.
He's from Glasgow. He'll never ever be Stanford.
Go ahead, man.
He's from Glasgow. He's from
I need a video for that, man.
You'll never ever
I got a video for all of it, but it's kind of hard.
He's from Glasgow. You'll never ever be Stanford. He's from Glasgow.
I've gone to get me suit measured.
There you go, Dan Byrne, burn, baby, burn. All right. So last but not least, by the way, if you want to go to the West Ham United matchup, you need 35, a whopping 35 points for the Hammer Strip. So 35 points, that ain't nothing.
32.
How many points? You got 32 points?
Yeah.
Wait, so if you use them, you got 0. Well, I mean, obviously you don't have enough, but
No. If I use them and if I get a ticket and I use them, I'll have 33 points then.
so one match means one ticket?
If you
Or 1 point,
go,
sorry.
go to one away game, you get one extra loyalty point. But don't get me started on the away ticket
makes no sense.
allocation because it's
the biggest highway
no,
robbery.
listen. We have the best away support in the league, I believe.
Well,
bar none.
we do. Well, yeah, that ain't got nothing to do
And
with
that's because the way that it's organised and the way people can get round it ensure that is the case. So you get the same people going week after week after week after week. But that means nobody else can go.
Exactly.
Because the tickets are all taken up. So I've been stuck on 32 points. Well, I was stuck on 31. I managed to get a ticket for Man City away last season because it went down to 31. But
okay, now.
But just so the people who've got the loyalty points keep on getting more and more loyalty points,
Yeah.
and nobody else can get any.
But if they don't use them, obviously they don't get none. So they.
But they still apply for them and get them, and there's ways and means. Even with the because there's a lot of the away grounds still haven't got electronic tickets and things. So
Yeah. All right. Well, those are the news for you, ladies and gentlemen.
But that's a whole debate for another show.
A whole debate for another show, man. We'll definitely we need to do a ticket thing, certainly. But anyways, thank you so much for your support, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thank you. We will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. So tomorrow 2 p.m. you and Gary will be doing the half season review. How about that? Half season, man.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a throwing a party for you. So there you go. Watch the celebrations.
If somebody had said to me at the start of the season, we're going to be where we are in the league, we're going to be in the 5th round of the cup, and we're going to be at Wembley, I would have taken that.
Keep going.
I'm just telling you. And if you take into consideration the financial shackles that Mr. Howe has had, then he deserves a medal the size of a frying pan, my friend. And anybody who doesn't see that needs to open their eyes and be very, very careful what they wish for. There you go.
All
We
man.
love you, Eddie. We love you, my friend.
Oh, man. This is my small violin. I'm playing for you right now.
Oh, I thought you were referring to someone else there.
Oh, my goodness.
We are knackered.
Anyways, we'll see you tomorrow, folks. Cheers.
See you
Bye.
2 p.m. tomorrow. Half-season review.